Fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you!
The movies, the internet stuff is so violent. It's so incredible.
I feel worried about it just because the consumption of these violent video games has been going up continuously since the early 90s, and yet youth violence has been
If
going
you
down.
look at juvenile crime statistics, which have gone down dramatically over the past 15 years, it really doesn't seem to bear what the American
You can pick up guns, knives. You can now choose to punch, kick, headbutt people, stab them.
Hello, what's going on, everybody out there in the masses on YouTube and Twitch? This is Tuned In Live, coming to you live this Saturday, November the 7th, and I am joined with my co-host, The Empire. What's going on,
Remember the 7th of November.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Well, no, I thought it was the 5th. Yeah, it was the 5th.
Yeah. Oh, well, skip it ahead 2 days.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, because I was thinking about that the other day, too, because the 5th is when I went and saw Vic DiMatteo, and I was going to be, it's funny, too, because the mask that I have, it's the Fox mask, and it covers my face. I was thinking about wearing that at the table while Vic was performing, but while you were sitting, you didn't have to have the mask on. What's going on, liking over there on Twitch? What's going on, everybody who's joining us here on YouTube? Be sure to hit that subscribe button below and hit the like and all. And also be sure to subscribe to us on twitch.tv/arrow with a name. So, man, the election was this week. How disappointed are you with all this shit?
Oh, right now, I'm just tired of hearing about the fucking shit right about it. Should have been called and fucking states were red.
Exactly. This whole fucking thing is rigged.
This whole thing it's rigged, plus there's a lot of fraud
Yep.
going on. But the thing about it is this way. You see it to an extent with, okay, you want to throw in, oh, well, here's the thing. And I heard this from Steve Crowder with the Louder Show. Kudos to him, because I watched him the whole entire night till about 12 o'clock, because even though he stayed up till 4.
Yeah.
They were talking about this whole thing, and they even said, how in the world do you go from already 20 points ahead to now a neck-and-neck race all of a sudden within less than an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
It was very fishy.
And Virginia was already won by Trump, but they already conceded to Biden, which makes no damn sense. I watched the thing on the bottom of the screen with Crowder, and they showed him with 53 to 32 or something in the beginning. And I'm like, really? You're going to give the man something that's not even probably his, and that's 20 points that could have went to Trump's favor.
Yep.
Over a guy that hardly, if you looked at the state map of the Blues and the Reds on each county, there's not even that many Blues in Virginia. There's mostly red. And the thing about it is, here's the thing that is disturbing even more, is that you have the radical left, all right, out there yelling, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. Now they're saying fuck Biden. So really, what was the thing about it is, when you have the radical left, they're not going to listen to somebody that's in office. It's an anarchy, what it is. And they don't give a damn who's president. And the thing about it, if Joe Biden's only running for one term, which is, I don't know if he even wins, I don't even think Trump conceded yet. So, like I said, this can go on for months. I'm not throwing in the white towel. Everybody else is. But I'm not, because, like I said, there's election fraud and election voter counts that are kind of screwed up regardlessly.
Yeah.
Okay. That you have to go just do the recount of the legal ones. And why don't you go back to Arizona, have that state redo its election? And we'll see who comes out without Sharpie markers, by the way. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they said there was still in some states, Maryland's one of them. I think Hagee said it was Arizona. There was like the
Arizona, Nevada,
yeah,
Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, the main states right
And
there.
Georgia also was part of that too.
Missing a lot of ballots, and a lot of those ballots were for Trump. They were found in trash cans and
Dumpsters.
shit. Yeah.
Wow.
And I knew this was. We all knew this was going to happen.
This is the same thing as the 2000 election.
Yep.
And I think, can anybody, Mike, can you pull that up? How long that lasted?
You know
matter of
what?
fact?
It's funny you say that because that's been said for the last 2 days,
I've heard
right?
it like 5 times in 4
Exactly.
days.
All right. Here's
You have that pulled up on Google, right?
Here's the thing. I follow Mark Levin on Facebook.
Yeah, I even listened to him. Actually, I think Mark Levin, he was also on the Blaze TV, also on YouTube, where Steve Crowder with Chowder's
Yeah.
on.
Now I got a screen cap of his tweet from earlier on his opinion of it. He said, "The media do not declare who's president-elect. There's a constitutional and statutory process. Gore litigated for 37 days. Clearly, the media wants this to end today, and this is also intended to pressure the Supreme Court justices and other courts where there is pending litigation and will be litigation. We do not know who's president-elect yet. The media at least has an obligation to explain this, but they won't." So
So the 2000 election lasted for 37 days, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so imagine that. 2000 election lasted for 37 days. This could go on till January the 2nd.
Exactly.
Now, what people don't understand is, yes, there's a lot of votes. Even you got to get the people from overseas still to come over.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's already sent. I didn't hear nothing about that, but I have been hearing a little bit about that. But regardlessly, this is the repeat of the 2000 election. This ain't no 2008. This ain't no 2012. This ain't no 2004. 2020 and the 2000.
20 years later, yep.
Remember, even in 2000, we had a lot of BS go on in this country.
The Y2K bug and shit. And it's funny you bring that up. The Y2K bug in 1999 and 2000.
And then we have the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. So 2 big
years later.
pandemics, yeah. Everybody was panicking in 1999. They're like,
History has a way of repeating itself.
I was just getting ready to say that.
And the thing about it, and it's funny, people, I mean, I understand. I mean, I'm a Trekkie guy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I hear a lot of these terms. Even in Star Trek, they even mentioned in an episode before a war started, they say history has a deemed to repeat itself.
Yep.
And look where we're at now. Okay.
Exactly.
Trump will serve a second term. How long it's going to take before he gets that second term? Well, let's see if this goes till January 2nd.
Yeah.
But they said something. Mike, what's about the 17th of November? I've been here. I heard something about November 17th.
Let me look it up.
About some kind of, they have to have a court date for the 17th?
Probably.
Something about November 17th.
What day of the? Oh, that's what day of the week it is. But I haven't heard anything about that unless anybody.
They were saying something about the 16th or the 17th, about something with the courts and all this other bullshit.
That's probably when they're going to hold the meeting for it or something.
Oh, you know what? That's probably what it is. Probably is. But, you know, my thoughts upon this is the 2000 election when it was supposed to be Bill Clinton. Well, actually, no, Bill Clinton did run 2 terms, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so he ran 2 terms with an impeachment. Well, Trump is running with an impeachment that was, what was that one? What's that when you're not convicted? What's it called?
Acquitted, I think, or no, it wasn't acquitted. Yeah.
He was impeached, but guess what? He's running for his second term, but they acquitted him and cleared out all that stuff.
Yeah, because there's no evidence against him.
But hear me out. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats lost the House and the Senate.
Wait a minute, I thought the Dems had the House.
No, they lost it. No, Georgia gained 14 House, either the House or the Senate more seats. Democrats lost it because of the recount.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, we own the House and the Senate. So Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats right now are fucking furious. So what's that mean? Well, that means if there's more Republicans in the House and the Senate, that means stimulus? Oh,
5G.
I'm looking at the article now.
Wait. But here's the main kicker. Trump gets in office, we'll be seeing that stimulus right after this election's done.
Well, hold on. Lycan said it's still a Dem House. They just don't have a super majority yet.
Exactly. Okay, they have the House, but they don't have the supermajority, which they needed.
And I'm looking at an article from
Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's job's done.
And I'm looking at an article from the day after. It said Democrats keep the House majority, but Republicans defied the odds. And this is on abcnews.com. The Democrats will keep their majority of the House, but after all the votes are counted, they could wind up with a slimmest House majority in 20 years. The Democrats gained a majority of the House following the 2018 election, in which they won 41 seats. This was the largest gain for the political party since 1974, in which they gained 49. So there's still a chance that the Republicans can gain the House. They already got the Senate. Yeah. And I don't see any more results here. Let's see. Follow the election results. Okay, here we go. So all right. President, don't
Look
even
at the House.
Nobody acknowledged the presidential electoral votes. That's all false. They're gonna see to that. Right now the Senate is 48-48. It's tied.
Right, but the Senate is all comes down to Georgia, though.
The House is Democrat 214, Republican 195. So the Dems still hold the majority. As for the governor part, Republicans won that 27-23. But remember,
Which means bye-bye Chuck Schumer. Bye-bye Chuck Schumer.
Mm-hmm. So just
bye-bye.
Remember, people, though, like as we were saying, the whole 2000 election, because I was on the Jeff Hagee show earlier with my buddy Jeff, and we were talking about it, and he even brought up the fact of the whole Bush-Gore election back in 2000, and that's when I found that thing for Mark Levin, where he stated that, Gore was in litigation, so they still have a chance to fight this and take it to the Supreme Court.
That's right. The litigation keeps going to the 17th or 16th.
So if the litigation, if it gets through to the Supreme Court, now my uncle, we were talking about this earlier also, and this was this one big reason why Trump got what's her face into the Supreme Court, and she won, because he knew come this day this shit was going to happen. And he needed somebody good and honest in that place, so if something were to happen and they were to bring it to the Supreme Court, they would have somebody who's honest with the whole thing and look it all over. So if anything, judge is going to look it over. She's going to see all this evidence. It's like, there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, what fraud? There's no voter fraud. There's no voter. Like, how can you prove that, for one? But we all know. There's voter fraud. I mean, come on.
Why would you cover up the windows in Michigan?
Exactly. They don't want Republicans there to watch the count. It's like, you want it to be a fair count. You let everybody in. You don't let everybody in, there's something going on. Because come Tuesday night, and even Jeff had said this, and I noticed it too, like, Trump is still sitting at 214. 3 or 4 days past.
All he needs is Pennsylvania, Georgia.
Well,
North
he
Carolina.
supposedly lost Pennsylvania. What's going on, Anunnaki bro? What's going on, man?
Nah, I don't think he did. I mean, look at the map.
Well, they said that he lost PA. Let me see here. PA
is because of Philadelphia. You know why Philadelphia turned blue?
Yeah, because of that recent riot that they just had.
There you go.
Yeah, and I covered that in the last show. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, where I was talking about it was a young thug criminal named Walter Wallace. Who,
not even that. That has nothing to do with why the riots are happening in Philadelphia.
Well, that was part of it because the police.
There's part of it, a very, very slim part of it.
So they figured they get
but
that.
But this is how the smart or how stupid the Democrats are. I mean, the Democratic Party is. Okay, if you have to threaten to burn a city down just so your man wins, wouldn't that prove a point of a message? Wow, I'm getting threatened? Fuck you, dude. I'm going to vote for the other party.
Exactly. They're nothing but a bunch of crybabies. They're fucking crybabies. I didn't get my way. I'm going to burn down the city of Los Angeles. I'm going to burn down Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about that? Did you hear? And how did Biden win with a 96-mile Trump rally in Arizona? Explain that one, too.
Wow.
Yeah, explain that one. Explain Arizona. Explain Pennsylvania.
Yeah, because PA.
Think about it. You scare people in PA. Okay, you scare people in PA to go into the voting registration center because if they do, they'll burn the place down.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Yeah, because PA, Trump lost that by 0.6%. 0.6%.
0.6. That's probably less than a million.
I will tell you what the numbers are. Looking at the numbers, that's at least, let's see.
It's got to be at least 10,000 at least.
38,000 votes.
But they're still bringing in from overseas. And if they have to do a re-election count on this whole entire thing.
But I bet you all those military votes, and I told Jeff the same thing, how much you want to guarantee those military votes are all trashed.
So, yeah.
They probably loaded them in a bag and sunk them to the bottom of the fucking ocean. That's exactly where they are. They want to make sure those military ballots did not get over here. That's why... That's why back in March, April, and May, when they started sending those ballots out, I looked at it and laughed, and I threw that fucker away. I tore it up and threw it away. I'm like, I'm not voting by mail because I know exactly what's going to happen, and I fucking told people. Nobody listened. Nobody fucking listened. Yeah. Well, you figure
we didn't get that.
Apparently, Maryland's a fucking Democratic state, so of course they fucking cheated on that shit.
Of course,
I'm ashamed to be a fucking Maryland resident.
But the thing about it, though, is where I live at, you know, I didn't get no daggone.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people did, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
But this was all planned out, and it was all planned out.
It's been planned out for a long time, Mike. It's been planned out since the Democratic Party nominee. Okay, why would you have? Okay, the thing I don't understand. The thing I don't, understand with the Democratic Party is why would you pick somebody that everybody already had as vice president and did a shitty job for 47 years, and now want to have him in office with a shitty first round dropout and the Democratic nominee?
See, it was all according to their plan. See, okay.
It's that little puppet. But here's the thing, too. You got to connect the pieces, though. Mike, you got to connect the pieces. Hold that thought.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to do.
Nancy Pelosi trying to get Amendment 25.
Mm-hmm. Well, she tried using that against Trump.
Hold on. Connect that with the voting fraud and everything else. Connect them both. And what do you got? A coup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I also heard Steve Crowder say. This is a fucking coup. This ain't no fucking election. This is a coup set up to take Trump out of office. That's what this whole thing is. It's secretly being done.
I have a theory. Hey, there's Tim over there in the chat. Yeah, Biden is a pedophile. I know, man. We all know. Biden's not going to get the election. The media says he won it. He has not won it yet. It's not over yet. The whole thing can still get overturned, and we'll continue explaining that in a little bit. But here's my theory on the whole thing, okay? They used COVID as a catalyst all along. And I have told people this for so many months And they didn't want to believe me. They didn't want to believe me, especially like when all these ideas of Black Lives Matter, you know, they want to call you racist and all that shit. I'm like, okay, if that's how you Democrats want to play, you know, you all play fucking dirty. I'm like, okay, well, I could play it smart. So here's what I'm thinking. Now, they're all saying that, you know, the COVID, you know, Corona.
They even think COVID. Okay, even Steven Crowder even said the same thing. COVID's a joke.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. Now, when it came out, everybody said it was a natural virus that came from bats, which, you know,
it's a virus that's been around for a long time. And it's just mutated.
Here's what it is. A lot of viruses come from diseased animals overseas. This one, they said it's mutated. Now, my theory is we had our own people over there for whatever reason. And this was one of the theories that was going around for a while, that it was a mutated virus in their labs over there in China, and we had our people over there helping them with it. Crowd control. And this virus got out of hand, and it started spreading worldwide. Now, supposedly, word did get back to the United States about what was going on. But here's the thing. Trump didn't hear anything about this warning until 4 months later. He came out and said, I heard nothing about it until now. Like, why wasn't I told about this warning, you know, come from overseas? Luckily, in time, he shut down our borders. He shut down airlines and boats and all to keep people from coming from overseas. Now, my theory is, let's get Trump out of office. We will use this thing as a catalyst. We will ride this all the way to election. What if we planned with the Chinese to create this virus that got so out of hand that when it affects America, we need somebody to depend on, to rely on, and everybody was pushing, Trump's not doing anything, it's the Trump virus, he's racist, he's calling it the Chinese virus, Trump wants you out there not wearing a mask, Trump wants to do this, do that, you know. So they put all this pressure on Trump. He didn't crack under pressure. Trump is a strong man, he knows what he was doing, but they wanted the American people to think that Trump is responsible, which he ain't. How is Trump responsible? Did he fly over there and create the fucking shit? Did he bring a bat over here and say, here, somebody get bit and spread the fucking virus? Trump's not responsible for any of this.
But here's my thing about this virus. All right, hear me out. That's just my opinion upon it. Dr. Fauci, I guarantee he's behind it, because if you ever noticed about it.
Fucking Hitler.
Hold on. Think about it for a second, Mike. He flip-flops.
He does.
And what's a flip-flopper do? They flip-flop every day of the week. One minute he's with Trump, next minute he's against it. And who's the one that says, oh, shut the whole country down and everything else? Who was that said it to the American people? It was truly Dr. Fauci.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I call him Dr. Hitler, because that's who he resembles. He's fucking Hitler to me. That motherfucker thinks he knows, oh, this is going to go well into 2021, maybe 2022. And you know what? Now that the fucking Democrats think they have won it, if they truly get in, if it's truly over with them, guess what, people? We're all fucked. And not just that, you know, we're already slaves to the system, and I know people don't like the word.
It's going to be a modern day civil war.
It already is.
Hold on, no, this is not civil war, Mike. This is how it's going to come: good versus evil. It's not going to become color. It's not going to be nothing of Democrats, Republicans. It's going to be nothing like that. It's going to become good versus evil. If Biden wins, and if Trump. This is the war. Remember I told you back a dream I had. We were talking about dreams in the podcast of that a president will be assassinated, and also that there will be another civil war coming.
Yeah.
Here you are. Civil war.
Well, we all see it coming anyway. Everybody's talking about a second
I
Civil
was
War.
told this back in 2011, right after Obama was in office. This was 5 years prior to Trump's election. Coinky dinky, ain't it? And this came from a person. I don't even hear from this person anymore because I don't live up there. This came from a person that was told by another person in the military, higher ranking officer.
Oh, wow.
9 years later, Mike.
Yep. And it's gotten a lot worse, not just with the virus, but with all these riots that are they're not funded, but they're created under
they're
the
funded, all right. Oh, they're definitely funded. They are definitely funded.
but they're formed under, Democratic parties, like
not
Antifa.
necessarily, not 100%. Think about it, Mike. Who wants to take us over right now? Who is just caught spying right now? The Chinese.
Yeah.
How else do you think you're going to gain into the popular? Okay, here's another thing too. I saw this on, I listen to a lot of YouTube, right? So I listened to this other guy. I forgot what his name was. He's one of them CPA guys that talks about stimulus money and stock markets and shit like that. No, hear me out. The Chinese done dropped when Trump was about to declare victory. And then it suddenly just coinky dinky. Look it up, Mike. Look it up. Look up November 3rd, Chinese stock market results. And there will be a picture of how that drop just was skyrocketing, thinking, Trump was going to win, or Biden was going to win, and then boom. Just like, what's that off of Price is Right? What the hell is that thing called? The guy that jumps off the freaking edge of the cliff?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
Look it up real quick on Google. It should be on Google. There's plenty of pictures of it, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. Stock market. This is all
Chinese
American.
stock market.
That's what I looked up, and there's not really not much on here.
Images?
Nope.
The Chinese stock market on November 3rd.
Now, you looked it up, right?
I saw this on a CPA's.
You can't really trust a lot of YouTube.
This guy is accurate as fuck, Mike.
Well, look at
This
those.
guy
Look
is
at the videos you've seen where they were talking about the stimulus check back in August and September
but you
and
know
October.
what they get. But here's the thing: it's because of Nancy Pelosi.
Let's see.
Yeah,
This is on. All right, hold on. This is on Reuters.com. This article was put up November 4th. Chinese stocks end up as banks again. Tempers disappointment of Ant IPO suspension. Coming from Shanghai. China stocks closed higher on Wednesday, underpinned by banking shares as investors appear to take in stride the suspension of Ant Group's closely watched mega listing with a strong services activity survey aiding sentiment. The U.S. presidential election was also on investors' radar, with the outcome still too close to call, although President Trump took the early lead in some key swing states. The blue chip CSI 300 index rose 0.8% to 4,813.66 points, while Shanghai Composite Index added 0.2% to 3,277.44%. China on Tuesday suspended Ant Group's $37 billion listing, thwarting the world's biggest stock market debut. But analysts say the news could bode well for Chinese banks, as it could mean decreased competition from the tech giant. Did he say anything about that?
Yeah, the big techs and all that. It was something about the stock market of how it just dropped dramatically when Trump was about to declare victory.
Now, here's something else. In the United States, Democratic Joe Biden said he was very confident of victory, and Trump accused Democrats of trying to steal the election on Wednesday night as a tight White House race came down to a handful of states where vote counting could take hours or days. Yeah, okay. If Biden is elected, he could cancel U.S. tariffs on China, decreasing Sino-U.S. tensions. Overall, the mood was also burnished by the recovery in China's service sector, with activity extending into a 6th straight month in October, an industry survey showed Wednesday.
It's gonna be a shocking when all them results come back after all the recounts. That's got to be done in certain states, and Biden ends up losing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a big shock, and you're gonna see an old man have a heart attack.
Especially if he if he shuts down the fucking tariffs. Like, that's gonna mean
Not
a
even
lot
that.
bad.
He's gonna shut the whole country down again. He's already said it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna shut the country down again.
Let's
He's
see.
already said it.
Anunnaki said, he's right, the Democrats held the stimulus. Yes, they did. My personal investment portfolio is doing fantastic. Yeah, the Democrats have done this on purpose. They chose to hold on to it till after the election.
Because they don't want to, because you know why? Because if Trump got his stimulus before the election, what happens to the Democratic Party? It makes them look like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them look like idiots.
Yep.
Now, what they're doing to Trump right now is halting this shit up. Makes them even look even stupider. Because if you think about it, if you would have done this election fairly, let's just say no interference. Okay, no interference, you get the stimulus package done. Democrats and Republicans come together to agreement. We're going to say about $2 trillion. Okay, let's just come to $2.1 trillion. Okay, let's just go there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my theory of this would be, okay, both sides work this out. It's going to be a fair election. This happened before the election. Now, yes, there's been tensions between Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump. We all knew that. Okay, but let's just say for a moment that both sides came to agreement on this before the election. We're going to say about 3 months prior till, before the first debate even happened. Okay? Think about it for a second. Would it be an even race on both sides, you would have thought, if it wasn't that way, to show the Democrats did put effort and so did the Republicans?
I don't know.
That's a good question, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Because we know how crooked the Democrats can be. I mean, I know some Republicans are.
They could be. Republicans also, so there are some crooked ones in there too. But here's the thing: if they would have just came together 4 months prior to the election, after the first one was done, and everybody got the first one, and then they say, "Oh well, you know what? We're going to need a second one to get the stock market up." I think we would have had a final election,
Yeah.
and everybody would happily seen with the result because both sides came to an agreement. They put their pride and egos to the side.
Just like Lycan
then that
said, just like Lycan said in chat, they didn't pass the stimulus because it would have looked good on Trump. Exactly.
Yes, but think about it. If Trump didn't bring up second stimulus, and if both parties came to him and say, "Look, we need a second stimulus. This ain't about politics or anything. This is for the American people." What would the outcome would have been then? I think it would have been a closer race than we all anticipated if it was down to that. If it had nothing to do with politics, but just taking care of the American people, I think it would have been a closer race, and I think everybody would have been happy with the result.
Yep. Tim's like,
Think.
yipe about them damn checks. Well, here's the thing, Tim. Those checks are an important piece.
There's still 30 million Americans out there without jobs and are almost near homeless because by the end of next month, guess what? Guess what happens at the end of the next month? Eviction.
Yep. All that's coming to an end.
December 30th, 2020. Bye-bye eviction. Bye-bye to your home.
If you guys are behind on your rents, if you're behind on anything at all, there's going to be millions of people out on the street.
Without jobs.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And Biden already said in the past that, did he say it exactly that he was going to take their jobs, the gas and oil companies or something?
Yep. You can kiss that goodbye, too. $100 trillion, the Green Deal. That's what Biden's all for. Fuck everybody else.
and
A
how
lot of
many
this
that
shit's got
haven't got their first. I know some people still
there's
haven't got their
actually-
first.
Yeah, some people still haven't gotten the first, but so I've heard some people just recently last month got some of theirs. So
My thing is, I don't think anybody's going to see it. Nobody's going to see any more money. Like they pushed it out so far.
they are. They've already it's already came to an agreement. It's either going to happen in February if the Democrats win, or it's going to happen if Trump wins automatically, starting with the deal right after this election bullshit's done.
Well, then they better start counting that
So
fucking
from now
money.
to February, you better start looking.
Yep. Because if Biden fully gets it and January comes and he's in an office, you better hope your local McDonald's is hiring people, because there's a lot of good careers out there that are on the line. They're on the chopping block because of this shit. Yeah, Tim was like, yeah, you can say goodbye to all the stuff you guys said. Well, how so, though? Oh, shit, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing, Tim. Like, Biden, everybody knows what's going to happen. He's already killing off jobs. Like Mike said earlier, they want the American people to depend on and live off of the government. There's a lot of good, honest people in this country. About 91% of Americans want to go to work. They want an honest paying job where they can go to work and make an honest buck. They don't want to sit at home and collect welfare for life. And especially since how many trillions of dollars are we in debt right now? What, $7 trillion? $22 trillion. Who's going to pay all that back over, the next 2 decades, 3 decades? We are. They're going to raise our taxes.
Yeah, that's what Biden wanted. Biden wants some taxes raised. They want a lot of shit fucking gone.
Yep.
What Trump's done.
And
they're going to bring back Obamacare, so kiss your insurance goodbye, too.
Yep. So if you got good health care and whatever, like if you don't have health care at all, hey, here's one thing for you, Tim. Not like him, but Tim. If you don't have health insurance when they kickstart the Obamacare, they're gonna fucking tax you at tax time. So if you're expecting,
so you might as well kiss the second class, middle class goodbye.
Mm-hmm. We're all gonna suffer. Even though they say the rich are going to suffer,
but that's if the Democrats get the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless.
Now
it hasn't been called yet completely.
There's also 2 things that could happen too. Like right now, everybody's cheering and jeering. Yeah, Biden's got the presidency. Like, it's not official yet. Trump still has a chance to have it overridden at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court overturns it and says, yes, voter fraud was a thing here. We're going to do a recount. We're going to do this right. And Trump is going to win. I bet you. And I told Jeff this today. I'm like, okay, Biden's at what, 273 or some shit? What is it? He's at 290. I bet you, and I told Jeff this, I bet you Trump is going to lead 300 to 290. I bet you somewhere around 300. Because right now, the poor man is still sitting at 214. His numbers have not gone up at all. Just like Jeff said Tuesday night.
They stopped it because Trump was winning.
Exactly. Jeff said when he went to bed Tuesday night, Trump was winning. He woke up the next day. Suddenly, thousands of these votes were coming in for Biden. He was like, look at this fucking shit right here. Like, where the hell all these mysterious ballots come from for Biden? And why is Trump still sitting at what he's sitting at? It makes no fucking sense, and people don't want to see that. There's a lot of blinded people out there, a lot of blinded sheep who look at it and say, oh, we just want Trump out of office. We just want Trump. What the fuck did Trump do to you so bad to make you want him out of office? What did this man do?
I never understood.
It's like, what did this fucking man do? He had a fucking television show. He was in movies. This motherfucker, he fucked Vince McMahon's ass humbly in the ring fucking a decade ago. This dude has...
Actually, WrestleMania 21, so it's actually been about 16 years ago.
Yeah, this dude has millions of dollars to keep the country running. Yes, they do. And that's true. Just like... And I was talking to Mel yesterday. I'm like, you know what? Oh, but she was like, do you know how much of a pay cut Trump took when he took office? And I was like, yeah. He doesn't want to accept the money. He wants the presidency. He's not getting paid to be president. Obama, they paid him what? I think she said $8 million or some shit to be in office for Obama. But Trump has the money. He don't need any extra money. He was doing a good thing. He was giving back to the fucking communities. And people don't like that. But that's my thing to a lot of people who hate Trump. I'm like, what the fuck did he do to you? I mean, do you personally hate him? You don't personally know the guy.
They don't personally hate him. They just didn't want him to run for president because he knew that he caught everybody's corruption and bullshit. That's what it was.
Exactly. Let's see. Tim said, here's the thing. The red keeps succumb country running, and then why do we get taxed more than they do? That's the thing, Tim. We're going to get taxed no matter what. There is no such thing as tax-free states. Well, Delaware's tax-free, but that's like purchase-wise. That's like if you go into a store and buy something, you ain't going to pay no sales tax or whatever. But everybody has to pay their taxes. That's what this country is ran on. Our taxes. What do they pay for? Services like, EMS, medical, police, fire department, stuff like that. Our taxes pay to get roads fixed and buildings built, all that good stuff. We pretty much put back into the system. What we work for, we put back in the system, and then the rich tax of the same.
Rich will get richer, and the poor will get poorer in the Democratic Party.
Exactly. So, however way you look at it, Tim, I mean, the rich. That's like. Before election, it was said that Bill Gates and so many other rich folk out there, they what was it? They withdrew from the stock market or something.
No idea.
It was something like that. Like they withdrew a lot of stuff that they had invested because they knew something big was going to happen, and it's already going to happen. You see the scary news on the media is like, oh, Biden wins the election. Well, it's not over yet, but let's say he does. Like, they're going to tax the fuck out of people who are rich. They're going to tax the fuck out of people like me, you, Tim, Lycan, Anunnaki on you, anybody. They're going to tax the fuck out of us. I'm already struggling bad enough with my bills, and I'm barely getting by, but they want people like us to live off of them. It's like, okay, how much would the government pay me out a week to live off of them? Like right now, people are fucking getting, what is it, $300 to $600 a week for unemployment. That's not going to last forever, people. Everybody who's been on unemployment since May, they're like, oh yeah, we're getting $600 a week. I'm making a lot more than my actual job. I'm like, well, guess what? When they decide to end that unemployment and you have no job to go back to, you fucked yourself. That's like with the first stimulus check. What did people do when that money came in?
Pay their bills.
Well, some paid their bills. They were smart about it. But then there were some people that were going. I had a coworker at the time. It's safe to say he was a piece of shit anyway. He was fucking worthless on the job anyway. That dude was talking about, I'm going to buy me a new car and pay it off. And I'm thinking, why not just put it in savings or something? Like,
put it in the stock market.
Yeah.
Make that quadruple or everything else.
Buy Bitcoin. Hide your life savings. Yeah, well, if Bitcoin is still a thing, I mean, I don't know if it is or not.
It is, but it's you got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, true. They were warning people about that, I think, a year or two ago with that. But I was educating Mel earlier on the whole presidency shit. I was like, okay, so if Biden gets the presidency and he's in office January 2nd, here's what's going to happen. And Jeff had said it several times on his show, and I've heard some other people say the same thing. Biden is not fit to be president of the United States. I mean, the dude looks like he has dementia. He looks like he's dying.
He does have it.
He looks like
He
a
has
fucking...
straight up the telephone.
Yeah. The dude looks like fucking Hubbard on life support. That's all he is. He looks like Hubbard on his fucking life support. So what's going to happen, and I told her, I said, they're going to use the 25th Amendment to get Biden out of office. They're going to say, look, he's got dementia. He's not fit to be president. You know, he's going to make a bunch of mistakes. Da-da-da-da. The vice president, Harris, is going to end up signing it. They're going to end up getting Biden out of office. Who's going to be the next president? Harris. I don't know who's going to be VP, but that's
Nancy Pelosi.
Well,
Probably.
that could be. Now, another scenario here, too. Let's say the Supreme Court overturns it and they do a recount and they spend 2 months in litigation, or, well, let's say they spent 2 months.
I was supposed to say a couple of weeks ago.
Something like that, yeah. Let's say no president is elected by January, I think Jeff said 24th or something like that. If there was nobody selected for that spot, it's going to go to the House of Representatives, and they're going to elect the next president. And the highest one up they could elect is Nancy Pelosi. And nobody wants Pelosi in that spot.
Nope.
Plus, why would we want someone to touch kids for president? I don't know, man. Like, pedophilia is a big thing in Hollywood right now. Like, even fucking pedophiles, like, they're getting big praise right now. It's like, oh, we want them protected under the LBGTQT and all that fucking bullshit. I'm like, you know what? If you're a pedophile, it's one of two ways you're going out. Either I'm going to put a bullet in your head, or I'm going to put you in a cell with a 6'6" motherfucker who's going to beat the shit out of you. And he going to paint the fucking walls red with your ass. And then that's what's going to happen to pedophiles. But now you got one that's going to be running the White House, possibly. He's not running it now, but possibly. That motherfucker. How much you want to bet that motherfucker is going to end up legalizing pedophilia? And you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? This motherfucker, he'll end up legalizing pedophilia. There's going to be millions of people out of work because of this shit. There's going to be a great fucking tax hike. And everybody who's voted for Biden is going to be like, we did not see this. What is our president doing? I voted for him. I stood for him. We cheated for him. But yet, he's doing all this. And you know what? I'm going to be right there telling all these motherfuckers, and I would love to say it to everybody who I'm friends with on Facebook, because that's all I saw today was, yeah, Biden got it, Biden, yeah. I'm like, you know what? When Biden does this shit,
yet.
Exactly. I'm like, when Biden does all this shit, don't any of you fucking, and I'll say it. I mean, I don't know if you guys are offended by it or not, but I'm just gonna say it. All you fucking retards who voted for Biden, you wanted it? You fucking suck it up. You suck it up, Buttercup. You're the motherfuckers that went out there. You voted for him. You put him in that spot. And this is what we got. Suck it up, Buttercup. I don't want to hear another fucking word out of any of y'all. Because at this point, those who voted for Biden, they do not have the right to bitch at all. They do not have the right to complain.
Here's the old thing though. I see it this way. It doesn't matter what party you are or whatever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You vote, you can complain. You don't vote, don't bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's the old saying.
But here's the thing, like, and that's another thing, and somebody else has said the same thing. It's like, you vote for a party that doesn't do what you elected them for. It's like, okay, why the fuck are you complaining about it. This is exactly what you wanted. You wanted America to die. You want the end of America. You want the end of racism. Guess what? Racism will never end. And I know that's one thing they're probably looking for our fucking president to end, or at least look into, like, make things better. Let me say this. Like, okay. Dating back to the days of Lincoln, Lincoln was a Republican president. What did Lincoln do back then? He freed the slaves. The North won. Lincoln was against slavery. He ended slavery. He freed the slaves. What was he assassinated for? Freeing the slaves.
Freeing slaves, yeah.
It's exactly...
Andrew Jackson was a Democrat that had more slaves than anybody else, and he was a president in 1812.
Exactly. Martin Luther King fought for the civil rights of the African American community. He was a Republican. He was murdered in cold blood. The day, well, I forgot how long it was after he did his speech. I have a dream. Somebody gunned him down outside a motel. He was a Republican. I would say Malcolm X. He was a leader in some way. I didn't read too much up on Malcolm X, but he was neither Democrat or Republican. But that just goes to show, it's like, you don't hear any of these people being Democrat. They're all Republicans. All the ones that are making things right. Look at what Kennedy was a Republican, wasn't he?
He was a Democrat.
Oh, he was a Democrat. Okay, I guess that's why people didn't really care too much for him, I guess.
But he was not a far left or what you would call. He was pretty much a moderate.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of Democrat. He wasn't a radical or.
I mean, that dude was assassinated. Yes, that dude was assassinated right there. Like, there's a trend going on here. Just like I was looking up online earlier, and people can say what they want. Now, from what I understand, from what I've heard from several people, and this guy I know, he was a friend of mine, a good friend. I haven't talked to him in a while, and he's a light skin, he's a black guy. And he had told me, and he had learned this himself. I mean, this is a very smart dude. He was like, the KKK was formed by Democrats. Now, try finding that online anywhere. They're going to there's a lot of shit online that's fabricated. That's why you do your proper research, either in libraries, newspapers, or whatever. But from what I've read, and people have tried to focus it toward Republicans, but the closest I found to that was, yes, the Democrats have founded and formed the Ku Klux Klan back in the day, but those who had formed it were turned Republicans. So that's when they were saying, so technically the KKK was formed by modern day Republicans. I'm like, well, you can say that all you want. They were Democrats at the time that it was formed. So now you got Democrats forming groups like Black Lives Matter, Antifa, all funded by Democrats. And they're both racist groups, big racial groups. How many black people out there hate that shit? Black Lives Matter stereotypes their own race. Like 2 or 3 streams ago, my buddy Ray was in here. He's black. He's a good friend of mine. He's against Black Lives Matter. And people fucking sit there and say, "Oh well, you're not for your kind." And I forgot what he said it was. All he could do was just fucking laugh at him. It's like, what are you saying? It's reverse racism? Like, if you're black and you're against Black Lives Matter, and what is it? You saying that you're reverse racist? You're racist against your own kind, your own race, or whatever? Yes, Anunnaki. BLM is burn, loot, murder. And we're going to see a lot more of burn, loot, murder in the months. Yep.
Party.
And even Jeff said something today too. It was like, there's no riots today, are there? You don't hear anybody rioting or gunning down anybody because
actually, DC people were getting beat up. So
yeah, It's probably the Republicans getting beat up, because you don't hear anything about Republicans having a protest or a riot.
Well, there was a peaceful stand, not a
Yeah, it wasn't a protest, but it was a
crowd.
peaceful. Yeah, it's a peaceful crowd. Yeah,
about the voting.
yeah.
That was about it.
But a vast majority of
That
those
was-
people who quote unquote protest, the rioters, they're all, I guarantee you, they're all fucking Democrat.
I can do that too.
And it's sad that this is the society that we live in today. This is sad and pathetic that, you know, the young generation out there, these people that are young teenagers, people that are in their 20s, like, I'm not trying to label everybody out, because there are a lot of young adults out there who do have a good head on their shoulders and know the truth about everything, who know right from wrong. And I salute and applaud you for that. But there's still a lot of young adults out there that are blinded from the truth, and they are spoon-fed a lot of dirty lies. You know, they see all this shit on CNN, Fox News. Well, actually, Fox News is in the shitter right now, so I'm like, yeah, fuck Fox News.
Well, they were going off of what everybody else was pretty much going off, and they.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'd say, and just like Jeff said earlier, turn off the news, turn off the TV, go have fun, go get a hobby, go do something, turn off the fucking news, and don't let it scare you, because the president, it's not over yet. The election is long from over, because you still gotta, Trump has already said he's suing the states for voter fraud, and it's still going to be ran through the Supreme Court. When they take it in there, and of course Biden, he can have his little day in the sunshine, his little time to bask in the sun right now. He can have that all he wants. But in the coming months or weeks or months, litigation his term, his quote unquote term, is going to come to an end, and Trump is going to win by a landslide. It's guaranteed. And like I said, I've heard from so many people. I heard from you, Mike. I heard from Jeff, and quite other people. Even my aunt and uncle earlier, we were talking about it. They said the same thing. It's just like when Bush and Gore had their election back in 2000. Gore had won it. He was supposed president for 37 days. And then it got overturned. Bush got it in the end. And as you said before, history has a way of repeating itself. We had a pandemic back in 99 and 2000, with the whole Y2K shit, and there was a bunch of other things going on back then. Here it is 20 years later. COVID-19, COVID whatever, Black Lives Matter, all these riots, defund the police bullshit, and it's all been stretched out to make Trump look bad. It's been stretched out to get Trump out of office, and now the Democrats think that they have an open window shot and want to say, oh, don't worry, come here, let me pat you on the back, give you a hug. Yeah, it's gonna be all right. Papa Joe's gonna take care of you. Yeah. And then Big Daddy Trump's gonna come in and pound him in the fucking wall. Here comes Daddy Trump, motherfucker. Get your ass back in.
Tony Gaga for president.
I owe you $2. Get me back in there.
give me 2 elections. Yeah.
But yeah, it's long from over, guys. So don't worry too much about it.
Yeah, don't panic about it. Don't throw in the white towel. Wait till all the recount and everything's done. The news and media outlets are going to say shit until it's officially and Trump concedes. Do not believe.
Somebody posted in Jeff's Discord, Hubbard is going to kill himself again because he thinks Joe won. That's gold. Hey, come 2024, Kanye says he's going to run. No.
He ran this year. Supposedly, some people actually did vote for the guy.
I'm not saying he said he conceded the fucking election.
Could you imagine that?
Oh Jesus! I've even
But
said
technically, that's actually if anybody was a smart guy, and here's how I'm going to get at it. Okay? He likes Trump. Why not give all his votes to Trump?
Exactly. So did 50 Cent. 50 Cent was all for Trump.
No, 50 Cent flip flop. Just like he
Yeah,
said
he
Trump,
did.
flip-flopped.
He flip-flopped because of his girlfriend or some shit. You ain't gonna get no more pussy unless you say Trump is fuck. All right. I'm sorry. Trump's a fucking piece of shit. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, well, guess what? I'm not as sorry as your
We
fucking
ain't
music.
Sorry, as you said it before. Yeah.
We ain't sorry as your fucking music. Like, yeah, take your shit back to the candy shop and sit your ass down, bitch. You flip-flopping cunt.
There's a lot of I tell you what, man. When it comes to politics and stuff, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt, man. You can't be just
Definitely.
believe what everybody says because if you do that, you fucked up a whole bunch.
Oh man, trust me, this whole thing is a headache, and
Yeah, I kind of stopped watching. I think after hearing 2 days of it, like, okay, the guy hasn't been called yet. Whatever. Okay, they're gonna get the recount stuff. Wait till after that.
oh yeah, you and Tom were telling me about that, Tim. Dan's trying to run for something in Ocean City. He ain't gonna get that shit. There's this guy that was friends with Tom and Tim, and I knew who the guy was too. He ended up turning into somewhat of a piece of shit over the years, but dude's trying to run for some kind of political thing in Ocean City down here, and I'm like, he ain't gonna get it. Ain't no fucking way. Oh shit! Everybody's trying to run. I'm gonna fucking run for you know what?
I'm
gonna
running
run
for fucking president. Fuck everybody on that shit. I'm running for fucking president.
I'm gonna
Like
run
my
for the
VP.
fucking. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run for office of West Virginia, and I'm gonna have Edward Hubbard in my cabinet. Well, hell, I said earlier on Jeff's stream, I was like, yeah, Steve Coat 2024 with Hubbard as VP. I'll fucking vote for them over fucking Kanye West. Over Joe Biden. I would vote for Edward James Hubbard over Joe Biden.
That's when you know down there's a big ass problem.
Because everybody knows that we as Americans do have our rights to sit there and stuff.
Right.
And united together, we take a huge shit. Hubbard 2024. Hey, anybody out there on Jeff's side listening, get a picture of fucking Reagan with his hands in the air and Photoshop Hubbard's face on it.
God.
If not, I'll do it. I'll do it because that would be fucking priceless.
Right? It would be heck.
I am not a bully, okay, sir? Oh, shit. Well, aside from all the election shit and all, I will give my little experience of what I had going on Thursday night. And, I know you would like to be up here to go with us. Joe had a free ticket to see that.
That was great, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because his friend backed out at the last minute. So we were trying to look around to see if anybody wanted to go with us, but everybody was too tired from work and this and that. I was like, fuck.
I would have fucking went regardlessly, man. I would have fucking went regardlessly, man. Fuck, that's what's a lifetime you ever get to see somebody like that.
I literally looked at Mel. I was like, well, I invite Mike if he could drive 300 miles an hour up here and get here in about 5 minutes.
Right.
But it was a really good show. We got there 6:45.
Conquer's $12. That's fucking ridiculous, though.
Oh, I'll get to that.
I can just imagine how much the beer was.
Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. So,
Oh shit,
Joe,
yeah.
he paid $30 for the tickets, and it was, he paid $60.
That's not bad.
No, he paid $9 in all. So we get there about 6:45, and I'm thinking that maybe we're the only ones there. And I was like, is this gonna be a turnout? Like, is anybody gonna stay home? And I was even checking Vic's Facebook to see, what was it? His thing would be let me listen now for a second. Yeah, that would be, Tim. But yeah, so I was checking his Facebook to see if he changed any dates or whatever, and I was like, nah, he's still here. And then of course people started coming up. And we were talking to, some people in line, they were like, yeah, I've been listening to Vic for about 4 or 5 years now. And I looked at him and I said, well, I remember when he released his bread and milk video. That's when I tuned into him.
Well, the first thing was actually the beginning of 2020s when I first ran into him. I think I saw him like Facebook.
Yeah, because I turned you on to him too.
Yeah. You turned me on to him, and I was like, man, I gotta watch these. I gotta watch this shit. So then I got into the Tony Gaga and the freaking Home Goods videos. Those were fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah. So
and you gotta hook me up if you can find any of that Home Goods shit on Spotify or that shit, dude. I want to hear it. I gotta hear it.
He has an album on Spotify. It's called Working Class Zero. It just came out, and I was listening to it, and it's hilarious as fuck. He just gets right
does it
into
have
the
Home
shit.
Goods in it?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Mike, you gotta do. Mike, you gotta do, bro. I gotta hear this shit.
Let's see.
But
I don't know if I can pull this up here.
Don't play because you'll get flagged.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to find a way to pull up to where you could hear it also through here, but
nah, we're good because the background music will flag you.
Yeah, true. But we got in around 7. That's when they opened the doors, and of course,
yeah, because you messaged me around 9 o'clock, which is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock not 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah,
or your time.
And
so
we
for a 3 hour show.
Yeah, because we were the first in line. We went up, scanned the tickets. They even took our temperature. They did the whole fucking temperature thing.
Oh, yeah. They do that when we're up there and fucking shit.
So they did that, and when entering, whenever you're walking around, going to the bathroom or whatever, you got to have your mask up. But when you sit down at the table, you could take your mask off. That way you can have, you could drink, you could eat, whatever. So we got to the table. And they put us at table number 5, and I showed you the picture. We were right at the stage,
right at the stage. Yeah,
like that table is like literally like right there, like we were right there in front. Did the
security guard tap on your shoulder, say "Put your phone away"?
Well, they came on the overcom and said that. They said, "Please, no phones out at the time." Da da da. I was like, shit. Oh well, but I did take a couple pictures before that. Yeah, they did that before the comedians came in.
You know what I did one time? I actually had a security officer tap my shoulder. I went to up the street here and up the street. They had these Nitro comedy tours. I went to both of them, Southern Mama and all them, and I saw every person. And right before Cletus T. Judd left the comedy show, and also Ginger Billy. So I went up there. I started taking pictures of people, and security guard cuts out my shirt. Sir, can you please put that away? And he got me right in the middle of the catfish call. I was like, son of a...
Oh, wow.
And so...
That's almost like Jeff's story where he was taking pictures of... I think he was visiting a site for Friday the 13th, the movie, and some little fucker was like a park ranger or some shit came over, and it was like, oh, you can't take pictures here. I need to confiscate your camera. And he was like, dude, what the fuck do you think you are? He was just some little he was some shrimp fucking park ranger and shit. He had no goddamn authority or whatever. But yeah, it's like when they came on, they said that, I was like, I wasn't really going to take any videos. I was going to take maybe a couple pictures, because they weren't doing the meet and greet afterward because of the COVID thing. You can't shake their hands and whatever. So we had an hour to spare. So Joe bought us a couple burgers, the Angus cheeseburgers. And it was a hamburger come with the fries. $12.45 for that motherfucker. But let me tell you, I have never...
I mean, the picture, I couldn't really see how big it was because I guess you held it up so high, it looked like a regular burger for $12.
It was a big burger. It was a big burger. And let me tell you all, I have never had a burger this good in my life. Like, this was fucking genuine cow that they fucking slaughtered and processed, and this was good Angus beef. And my brother said that this comedy club, they have really good food. Magooby's Joke House, big burger for a big
I
man.
never been. I never. Now that's what, downtown Baltimore?
That's up in Timonium.
Timonium? Yeah, I never been up that far.
Yeah, it only took us 25 minutes to get up there through 695.
Yeah, Timonium. I mean, I've been to oh shit, what's up there? That place up there, the Civic. Not the Civic. I don't think it's up there at Baltimore. What's the other stuff that they do like WWE?
Oh, I forgot.
Tyson's. No, I don't think it's Tyson's Corner Center or some shit like that. But it was in Baltimore.
I think I know
The
what you're talking
Harbor?
about. Yeah, somewhere around there. Is it like the Roll Farms Arena?
It might have been that because I went there 2010.
They
for
did
WWE
change.
Extreme.
Yeah, they did change the name of one of those arenas up there. So now it's like the Royal Farms Arena. It used to be something
Yeah, I
else.
think that's what it is. They renamed it or some shit, and that's where it's
Yeah.
at.
But yeah, we had this good food, and it was just so good. And we just sat there, on our phones for the rest of the time. And then around 8:00, that's when they start to turn the lights down low, and the announcer got on and was like, please, people, if you get up to use the bathroom or walk away from your table, please put your masks on. Make sure you're wearing your masks. This. And then they were like, if you could, please put your cell phones on silent, turn them off and all. Thank you very much. And then the first guy they had come out, I think his name was Mike Search. He was a comedian. He come out. He was out there for maybe about 5-10 minutes. He was all right.
They usually have like the first runner-uppers, like the pre-quill beforehand and all the other shit before.
Yeah, he was all right. Then they brought out this second guy. He's a local here. He lives in Columbia. His name is Eric Woodworth. He come out. He was better than the first guy. This dude, he was pretty funny. He went on talking about his kids. He was talking about kids in general. He's talking about pussy and shit like that. Like, this is a guy. Like, if you want to hear some good wet ass pussy jokes, like he had them that night. It was hilarious. And then when he walked off, the other guy Mike came back to introduce Vic. Now every time the comedians would go off stage, they would end up changing mics out. So one guy would take one mic with them, the other guy would take the other mic with them. So
right, because that's how they have to do it out with the stupid COVID bullshit.
Yeah. And Vic comes out and he's standing on stage. He has no microphone in front of him. He's looking at the mic. He's looking at the mic stand. He was like, "Look at this shit. They didn't even leave me the fucking microphone." And then everybody just started laughing, and the guy come out. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." He was like, "How about that shit? Do y'all want me to talk like this? Can y'all hear me? I ain't got no fucking microphone." They gave him a microphone and all. So he's sitting there playing around with the wire and shit while they're bringing him a fresh microphone out. He lays the microphone line over the out over the stand. He was like, "Hey, look, this was me last night." He fucking limp as a noodle. But he was fucking he was just hilarious for the hour that he was out there. Like, all kind of fucking jokes and shit. He did a lot of he did a lot of home good jokes. He did a lot of jokes about his cat, his wife. He started out about the COVID thing. He did a couple COVID jokes. But it was fucking killer, man. Like, I remember the one joke he did. He was talking about going to Walgreens and getting his medication.
Oh, shit.
And he realized he got up to the door and he stopped dead in his track. He's like, fuck. Realized he forgot his mask. So he had to stomp back to his goddamn car, and it was like, how the fuck am I supposed to forget a mask? I'm like, I'm so used to walking into a store like that, not needing one. Of course, you got to have one. And then I go back to my car. I'm like, how can I forget one? I have like 20 of them fucking things hanging up on my rear view mirror. I got another 20 of them hanging up on my fucking blinker stick on the steering wheel. And every time I get in the car, I take one off and hang it up on the mirror so the sun can kill the COVID off and all. So he puts his mask on and he goes in there. He's going back to the pharmacy. And he stands in line at the pharmacy, and they got like fucking 3 different layers of windows in between him and the pharmacist. So it's like he's got to yell, he's got to shout back to the pharmacist for his medication. And he said, "Hey, man, I'm in a hurry. I got something to do. If you could just look me up in the back, Vic DiBattista, I'm always here. I'm a good customer of y'all's. Just look under the V or the D, you know, I'm back there. And the guy's just like doing all this fucking weird hand shit, you know, like trying to, you know, like, I don't understand you. So he says, then the guy picks the fucking phone and proceeds to talk to him on the other end. He was like, what are we in fucking prison? It's like my uncle's in fucking prison. We talked to him. We go try to slide a cake under the window now with a file in it or some shit. He's like, come on, talk to me face to face. You can hear me. My name, Vic DiBattista. My bag is up there. You know, I look under the V or the D. It ain't that fucking hard. So the pharmacist makes this motion and pulls his mask down, make the motion to pull his mask down, and all. He's like, oh, now you want me to fucking pull my mask down? What? And so he does it, and the pharmacist looks at him and he's like, I'm deaf. He makes the motions, I'm deaf. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were deaf. You know, I have nothing against deaf people or anything. I'm so sorry, you know, like I didn't fucking know. And he said, out on the right, this one fucking bitch decides, oh my God, he doesn't have a mask on. He took his mask on. And he was like, Jesus fucking Christ, where the fuck you come from? The one annoying fucking bitch out of everybody. Like, on the one day I come in here, it's like, you don't, you know, all these other motherfuckers around here didn't say anything. You gotta be the one bitch to say something about my mask. And you sit there and say, oh my God, he doesn't have his mask on. So I looked at her and I was like, fuck you. And the pharmacist, who's reading my lips, and he's just like, oh, fuck you. And he puts his middle finger up. He's like, oh, fuck you. Fuck me, fuck you. And he's like, no, I didn't say fuck you. I said fuck you to her, you motherfucker.
Damn.
And it's insane. Like, he was just fucking hilarious. He was doing so many fucking jokes. He even included a couple shit jokes there too. He was talking about there were some streets or some kind of turnpike or whatever that they had. It's something they have up in New Jersey where you can't make a U-turn.
Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, you can't make like a U-turn or whatever. You can't make a left turn. It's like you got to go up and follow the roundabout just to get to where you're going. And he even included that part in his album. He was like, yeah, my wife pointed out there was a Home Depot on my left side. He was like, yeah, there's the Home Depot. We're passing by the Home Depot. Oh, look, there went the Home Depot. I can't get to it. And then my wife is like, oh, there's a Target over there. It's like, I see there's a fucking Target over there. I can't get over there. I can't make a left turn. It's like, and it's bad enough when you're in a fucking roundabout like that, you know, you can't get to the other side and you gotta fucking take a shit. And he's like, haven't you noticed, like, you know, when you gotta take a shit on the road, it's not that bad, but the closer you get to your house, it's like it knows you're home. It gets closer to your asshole, and then you get into the house, and it's like, oh my God, just in time. How did it know I was here? Then he went on to talk about the different crab meals he had up here. He said he misses coming down to Maryland. You know, he loves the crab cakes, the crab sandwiches. Oh, he started labeling them all out, and then he was like, hey, you all remember that guy Bubba from that movie? He was talking about the shrimp and all that. I was like, yeah, I had the crab cake, the crab ragoon, the crab salad. He's like, later on it's going to be bubbling in my belly. That's going to be a hell of a fucking crab that comes out my ass later. But this dude, he was just, he had us going for the whole hour he was out there. I love the dude. Like, if you guys watch him on YouTube, Vic DiBattista, like, his videos don't really compare much to his stand-up. Like, I didn't really expect him to do that kind of stand-up. I was expecting, like, I'm just glad he didn't do anything to talk about the elections and shit or whatever, you know, just like, it was just a nice, relaxing evening, you know, he made people laugh, and he didn't get into any politics or whatever.
Check out his Facebook too, man. He's got a Facebook.
Oh yeah. If you guys are on Facebook, you know, or he's even also on Twitter too, Vic DiBattista. He's a really good comedian. He does a lot of these short ticked off Vic moments. They're videos, you know, where he's like, "Oh, ticked off about this, ticked off about that." It's all common sense shit. This dude, he is straight down to earth common sense when it comes to anything at all. There's even a video he has out there where he's talking about, hey, you know what pisses me off? When there's no toilet paper in the fucking bathroom and I'm sitting here taking a shit and I look over and the toilet paper roll is gone. It's empty and all. So where's all the fucking toilet paper at? You know, that kind of rant. Or my favorite rant where he's like, you know what I hate? I hate getting in the shower, you know, and he's talking about how he's bathing his body and shit, and then he gets out and he's fucking shaving and everything and puts on the cologne and he feels like a Frenchman or something like that. And he's going through this minute-long phase where he's talking about taking this nice relaxing shower, and then he's like, and then you realize you gotta take a shit.
What?
It's like everyday stuff that we go through. Like he hits the note. You know, he strikes it right on the fucking tip of the nail. It's like it is just so hilarious. And like I said, it was like a lot of things I did not expect out of that show, but I had a good time. Joe had a good time. You know, just being there, you know, seeing this guy that I see on YouTube. You know, he's doing his thing. I would definitely, if he came back around here, I'd definitely pay to go see him again. It was absolute. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, his album Working Class Zero. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify. Look it up, guys. It's definitely worth a listen. And a lot of the jokes that he has said live is actually on that album too. So it's really good. So
yeah.
That was my night Thursday night. Like I said, if you were up here, Mike, we had a free ticket. Oh, definitely, man. You would have fucking enjoyed yourself there.
I would have.
Like I said, like the entertainment was great. The food was amazing. You know, we had
food and all that's amazing.
We had front row seats, like right there. You would have been right there. You'd be like, holy shit, I'm up here near fucking Vic's balls or some shit, you know?
No, I'll probably say something stupid.
But yeah, he was fucking amazing. It was a really good show. And of course, it didn't really take us too long to get home, you know? Like I said, it was only like a 25 minute ride down 695. So, you know, everybody left in good spirits. But it seemed like there was a lot of good comedians that have come through there over the years. Like they had their pictures up on the wall and shit. One person Joe went to see there last year was Gilbert Gottfried, and he got to do the greet and meet with him. You know, he got to shake his hand, he got pictures, he got an autograph signed from him.
Oh no!
I wish I had known that. I would have gone with him that night to meet Gilbert Gottfried. But yeah, that's what happened to me Thursday night. You know, I had a good time with all that, and you know, it was good to get out of the house and just not worry about anything at all, stressing, like, you know, work related, the stress of the election, you know, everything at all.
That's the best medicine you can get yet.
Oh yeah, they do say medicine is laughter is the best medicine for you. So whenever you're depressed, whenever you're down, stressed out, it's always good to laugh. And that's what I got good friends for. You know, we get together, we laugh, we joke about whatever. Laughter is the best medicine, especially in a time like this, guys. If you're listening, you know, when it comes to like worrying about the election, don't worry. Like Jeff said on his show, like we said here, there's nothing to worry about. Trump is going to win. No matter what the media posts out there, no matter what people say, let them have their moment in the sun, because in the coming weeks, it's going to come out. Trump is going to serve another 4 years. They're going to be pissed off, but that's the sad reality. Like, you know, suck it up, Buttercup. You know, it's going to be it's basically another Bush Gore scenario. Trump is going to get it. We're going to be safe for another 4 years, so don't nobody worry. And if you're depressed about it, if you're worried about it, hey, like I said, laughter's the best medicine. Go check out my boy Vic DiBattista. You can find him on iTunes, or you can find him on Spotify. Listen to his album, Working Class Zero. You'll definitely get a kick out of that. You will thank me for it later. And before we get out of here, is there anything you want to talk about, Mike, that you want to cover, maybe?
Really nothing. I mean, we hit all the nails in the spots. Just want to wish my old lady, if she's feeling better. And
Oh yeah, I
miss
heard
her.
you say that she was sick or something.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it ain't the
She's doing fine
COVID.
now. No, it ain't. We all know about all that shit.
Oh yeah.
But yep. So just want to let my lady know I love her, and I hope she gets better soon. And pretty much, man, Mike. You know what you got to do later on, right?
Yep.
But the Vic DiBattista, man, I wish he'd come down this way a lot more. But I mean, you're talking about I would have to take a 5-hour
Well, hold on.
drive.
Let me
to see him.
see what his schedule is right now.
Well, I already seen his schedule, but it's nowhere near here though.
Yeah, I know he's doing he's doing a Zoom thing tonight, a virtual Zoom thing. Let's see, November 21st. I'll say November 19th, 2021. He's gonna be down in Florida. So the 19th and 20th, he's gonna be in Boca Raton, Florida, and the 21st, he's gonna be at Port St. Lucie, Florida, which is the Town Hall Event Center.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to be back up in New Jersey the 27th and 28th. Man, that dude's got to work on fucking Oh, he's not working Thanksgiving, thank God. I would hate to see him work on Thanksgiving. He's working that Friday. He's going to be working Black Friday. So, let's see. And then, of course, live on pay-per-view, wallstreettheater.live. So, anybody want to check him out on there, like I said, he's got a virtual Zoom going on tonight. Let's see. Oh, it's a pay-per-view thing. Okay. So anyway, guys, thank you for joining us tonight for this show. I know we don't get too many updates out there for you guys on when we go live, because like I said, in my life, in my household, like it's random. It'll either be like every other weekend or whatever, or whenever I can get around to doing a podcast or whatever. But if you guys are on Jeff's Discord, I'm on Jeff's Discord, so you will get an update on that. I'll give you the link on there. Also, if you're following me on Facebook, I'll put updates on there eventually soon once I come out of my Facebook restriction, because I had to call some white bitch a racist bitch a while back, so I can't post anything right now on Facebook. But I can't talk to you on there. We are no longer on Twitter, of course. I stated that last week, so don't feel too ashamed about that. But guys, thank you for coming out, checking us out tonight, listening to us. Like I said, check out Vic DiBattista's album on iTunes and Spotify for free, Working Class Zero. You guys, you will not be disappointed. And until next time, guys, stay tuned in live, and we'll catch you on the flip.